Well, actually, the first thing I wanted to comment on is the process, because I'm surprised to hear so much criticism of process. I've served on both public and private company boards, nonprofit boards and company boards, and it's always good practice to, when you have the top position to be filled, to compare external candidates with your best internal candidate. And when if the internal candidate's the person who gets picked, then he or she knows that they were the very best there was, including against external candidates. And it gives everybody, you know, we have 50 people here in the room, not 4,000 constituents, 50 people who are passionate about this thing, but it gives everybody confidence that we've done our fiduciary duty to everybody by comparing what's right. And no one's made up any mind. I certainly haven't made up my mind about this yet. But I appreciate the opportunity to hear all the options. And so I wanted to start by asking that. I wonder if I could ask the sheriff about one of my big concerns is community policing. And it may be because I have 16 and 18-year-old boys.
Good luck.
Yeah, so far so good. But I grew up in a town where the chief of police knew every kid in town, and if he saw so and so at such and such a place, their parents might get a call, or if he saw another person in another place, well, then he might take a different action. And that police chief did that because he had good knowledge of the people in that town. And I'm not suggesting it just ought to be around kids, but particularly in a world where many of our police officers don't get to live in the same town, how do you improve our sense of, how would you improve our sense of community policing?
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. It is, vital for successful law enforcement, to really be, having good knowledge of its community, being involved in the community, being coaches, being those kind of things. One of the things we did last year, because we heard the same thing out of Bellevue, is that the marshal down there, what we did is we had him be there every morning as the kids come into school. So, number one, the parents know when they drive up there that, hey, we care about your kids traveling to school. We talk to the kids. He talks to all the kids on the way to school, make sure they're safe. He knows who they are. He knows their names. And it gets back to that small town issue of, being involved where the people are and what concerns them. It's being more in the neighborhoods and trying to get as much patrol in the neighborhood, stopping and talking to the neighbors around there and introducing yourself and who you are and those things. So, those are all in our plan, and that's how you really get, that involved. Same with businesses. You're walking around, you're introducing yourself, you're getting in the businesses, you really get to know who those people are and what concerns them. And then we can start making a plan on, what needs to happen in law enforcement by, getting a lot of that input, your Rotary clubs and things like that.